Okay, let's get into some of the details. So the idea with this new R6 was basically sharpening the performance, especially in the handling department. So we focus really though on three key areas: optimal rider control in varying conditions by utilizing technology, even more precise and nimble handling, and then also the R6 is pretty iconic for its styling and its design, very mean and very aggressive. So we wanted to keep that, but at the same time we wanted to inject some of that R Series DNA from the R1 and actually ultimately even from the MotoGP M1, which you can especially see in the front face. So, excuse me, in terms of rider control, so we now have the 3-mode Yamaha D mode or drive mode system where you can choose the power character for whatever condition, especially if you're in traffic or the racetrack, you may want a little bit different power character. And then also 6-mode traction control plus the ability to turn it off. So a lot of adjustability there depending on, of course, available traction on the road or track itself, even tire wear, lots of adjustability. And then it is also pre-wired for an accessory quick shifter that's a very easy to install accessory if you want that ultimate acceleration. And then it was already known for being a very nimble and light and quick handling bike, but we wanted to give more precise handling and also more feedback from the front end to the rider. But the first part of handling that has a big effect on handling is weight. And so we went to an aluminum fuel tank. It's about 1.2 kilograms lighter than a similar steel fuel tank. And that's really important because that weight is up at the highest point of the machine. So when you can reduce a little bit of weight at the extremities of the machine, it definitely aids in handling a lighter feel. We also have a new KYB shock in the back, and the seat is flatter front to rear, but then it's also narrower in the front, so it allows you to access the ground just a little bit easier. The seat height's the same, but it is easier to touch the ground now with that narrower shape in the front. Also, we have had magnesium subframe in the past, but this is a new design, magnesium subframe, and ABS will come as standard equipment on the R6. So, keeping along the lines of precise cornering, it now has the exact same components in terms of the forks and brakes right off of the R1. It has a 43 millimeter KYB fork and the large 25 millimeter axle, and then also the brake rotors, the 320 millimeter brake rotors with the 4-pot monoblock calipers, and then this radial master cylinder. So I mentioned it before, but really the focus here was to get more contact, more connection to the front end with these larger diameter forks, and the latest generation KYB forks is certainly a really big improvement. So I mentioned before about styling and keeping that aggressive, iconic, mean face almost that the R6 is known for. So we have, of course, all new bodywork, which you can see here. LED lights in the front, including the marker lights, and flashers integrated in the mirrors, which is nice, especially for track days. You're just pulling the mirrors off. You don't have to worry about pulling the signals off as well. And with this new body design, we've actually been able to achieve the most aerodynamic efficiency of any production Yamaha ever produced. The rear seat cowl, as you can see, is also new, kind of the flow-through design similar to what you see on the R1, and LED taillight and flashers all around. So we'll have 3 color choices for 2017. So you can see in there the Yamaha blue, and then also black, and then the bike that we have here, this matte silver and white, two-tone with the neon yellow accents. So pricing is $12,199, and it will be hitting dealers in March.